Hello everyone, X Spartan 1000 here, and we are back with some more Marvel's Midnight Suns content. And this is going to be the opening for the breakdown and the ultimate 1, 2, and 3 gameplay videos. I'm going to go into each video after this brief rundown of the characters that are in this composition and the abilities that they use. So, the first off is the Dark Hunter. The Dark Hunter is going to be one of my main damage dealers, and she's going to be an assassin of sorts. Most of her damage is coming in the form of single target damage that may apply some sort of negative status effect to the enemy, or that'll grant her a positive effect if she kills somebody. On last sight, we can do bleed damage if we don't kill the person. If we do happen to kill the person, we can gain concealed. Concealed's really good because it'll cancel out every enemy that's attacking you's turn. So if you can get everybody to want to attack you, say if you attack a Nest Mother, and then you kill somebody with this ability and you get concealed, or if you're just using the passive where you dismiss a heroic ability, you'll be immune to all damage because the enemies will just lose their turn. Merciless is a very strong ability, especially if you can amp up your damage and if you can stun somebody prior to using it, because it's going to do an extra 536 damage if they're stunned or blind. So this is definitely a situational ability. Utilize fuse boxes and characters that can provide a stun for you, and this move is very good. Wild Strike is my favorite thus far just because it hits hard no matter what. I got a mod where it is doing extra damage if the target's at full health, so it's really good burst potential, single target again. I got another version where I gain quick from it. Quick is very awesome because it allows you to keep going on. Mindbender is mainly for building heroic energy. I get 2 points for it. If I want to get rid of one of the vulnerability status effects that I may pick up from Wild Strike, I can just dismiss this card and then I'm cured from it. And then also I can just make larger enemies that are protecting people turn on that person, or just make the bosses do some damage to their minions. So Mindbender is really good. Annihilation is our big, heavy hitting move in this build. If you can stack up your heroism to 10, it's pretty easy to do. Just run some sort of item like the Rune of Invigoration or the other low level one that gives you 2, and just be very careful with how you spend your heroic energy. And you will be doing upwards of 1,500 damage with this move. It is insane, and I imagine it can go way higher than that because you can really stack on a bunch of damage buffs. But Annihilation at 10 heroic energy hits like a truck. And the AoE continues to increase as you continue to level up your character. Whip is a starter move. You could opt out of using this move. The reason why I keep it is because it essentially feels free. It does cost a turn to do it, but your knockback distance will get very far as you progress in the game. So I can pretty much throw people across the map with this. It doesn't cost heroic energy. It's doing only 67 damage. This is basically for a setup, though. It's not for heavy damage. This is for throwing people into drops or hitting them into environmental hazards. And then if it does, whoever I do hit, it'll apply weak to them. So I do this to bosses all the time so that whenever they do go to retaliate, they're not hitting for their full damage. Do note that it does discard a random card, so proceed at your own risk if using this. But if you didn't want to use this, you could just double up on another one of the heroic cards that we already have, or the defender like cards like Mindbender. Mindbreaker is very good. Essentially, a jacked up Mindbender is going to apply Berserk to someone, and they're going to attack 3 times to the nearest target. So be careful how you place this. This is very good to use against bosses. Um, and if you have enemies that you know that apply negative status effects, because if you corrupt that person, it will put all those status effects on their own teammates. So it's super huge to try to take advantage of this, especially for missions where you're defending, or sorry, trying to destroy those tubes, or if you're fighting a Nest Mother. Our second character that we're going to be using is Ghost Rider. Ghost Rider is serving as a bruiser and high damage dealer. He's going to be life stealing his way up constantly. and dealing hella damage to a lot of people. He's got a good mix of AoE and single target. I'm using 2 lashes because this move is just so good, to be honest. You can take out so many minions with it, throwing people into your Hellmouth drop. And I like that it has quick on it too. So anytime I see this, I'm usually trying to use this so I can extend my turn as long as possible and to build up his soul passive. I got a mod where he can apply 2 vulnerable. This is huge, especially into bosses. Even if I can't kill the boss with it, I will still use this just to debuff the boss. It allows him to essentially almost like damage buff himself in a way because he's weakening the boss's defenses. The KO on block is, or sorry, the block on KO for the first lash is very good too, because then it gives him some sustain because Ghost Rider does damage himself when he uses this ability. Retribution is another very good damage attack. Doing 196 base, can go way higher if you have extra strength buffs on you. Plus, this mod is going to do an extra 65 damage if the person is targeting Ghost Rider. So 100% use this on people who actually want to fight you, and then try to angle it towards drops and stuff as well, like the Hellmouth. Hellmouth is super huge because this is a damage buff. If I redraw this because I just don't feel like using it, I could also gain some extra block. Hell's Fury is a very good ability because it doesn't cost much heroic energy. It's easy to pick up 1 heroic point. So you can get a nice 262 damage off on somebody, and if the target's at full health, add another 65 to that. Judgment, definitely one of my favorite moves from Ghost Rider, because if you have max HP, that is when this ability is going to hit its hardest. I have a 25% chance to apply a vulnerable to somebody. Not a high chance, but if they do, nice. If not, most people are dying from this, so it's all good. Hellride, a move you'll pick up from the beginning of the game, and I doubt anybody will just stop using it because Hellride is just so useful. That rectangle is the cone for how it hits people, and it takes up pretty much the entire map. And then there's a 50-50 chance to apply bleed, 1 bleed to every person it hits. The only risk with that card is make sure you're done with all your other plays first, because it's going to throw away the rest of your hand. Penance there, even when this was its base version, this card was insane. One-shotting bosses and high-level enemies without mods and without the upgraded version. But with the upgraded version, you get an extra 65 damage if they're targeting you, and then you can fill the souls meter whenever it gets upgraded. So highly recommend grabbing that. And then lastly, I have Nico. So Nico actually has one change I'd like to make to her thing as I'm showing you her stuff. Nico serves as the support for this group because the first 2 characters are basically dealing damage. I do have some moves in here where she's going to do damage like blood for blood, but I really only want to use blood for blood if I'm going to kill somebody with it, because if I kill them, she's going to throw a hefty heal to whoever is low on HP and I can get it. However, it is nice that there's a 10% stun chance, because if I do get the stun off, I can go back to my Dark Hunter and use that relentless attack to do extra damage to the person. Circling back just to show you what I'm talking about. Or sorry, Merciless. That's what it was called. Merciless she'll get that extra stun damage, so that's why I got blood for blood. Curse is a very weak damage dealing ability, but what makes this so good is the utility. It could apply a stun, it's going to do 2 marked, it can do 2 vulnerable, or it can do 2 weak. Honestly, if it hits stun, that's when I'm the most happy for this ability, because then I can follow up with a high damage combo if I have that card. And then it also applies 2 bleeds. This is something I'll use at the beginning of like an assault on a boss. So even if I don't kill the boss in that first turn, if I get them low enough, the bleed will take them out. Witchfire is nice because it's a good move for finishing off multiple squishies that have low HP, whether it be minions. It's also some hefty damage for an attack, 262. I got an upgrade that allows for us to have marked. Marked is very good because if you kill somebody while marked is up, you get the card back for free, that turn that you just used. Blood magic is one of my favorite things that she can do preferably whenever it shows up in the form of strengthened. If it's strengthened, it's going to be a damage buff. If it's blood magic, it's life steal. Counter is counter. You get the whatever character you put it on, they get the counter attack, and fast. Heroic cards cost less. This is also good because it's going to heal whoever she puts this on. So she's really coming into that support role with this. I could honestly see people running more than one blood magic, but I thought only one was necessary. And that's probably in part because of double up is super good. So double up is going to make a copy of attacks. So imagine having four wild strikes in your hand, or at least three. That would be insane. Because a double up exists, it makes that possible. One of the mods for this was redrawing it so she can gain block. So if she is getting focused too much, 131 block will save her from an attack. Not too many attacks, but it's something to keep her sustained so she can continue to support you. Next is Restore. Restore is definitely something I'm a fan of. I used it in one of my videos. It's going to help you heal people. This is good to pull Ghost Rider back from the brink because he does a lot of damage to himself at times. And then if he's getting focused, his health can be easily at the 25% level if you're not careful. So this will be something to help you play a little safer, and it'll also apply a counter to that person being focused. So this is a very good card to pick up for supporting reasons. And then Empower, definitely one of the more nutty cards that comes out of Nico because she just lets you do an heroic card for free. This isn't good for Annihilation because Annihilation needs like a whole bunch of heroics, but those heroics that have fixed numbers like the Hell Rad using 3, you just get to use it for free. So Empower makes so many old cards like that in the beginning worth it. Swarm is something I would tell people to pick up for a heroic ability for her early on. I don't say you necessarily have to keep it. It's a nice little bit of damage, and it's more of a function of I have no more options, and this will do. What I would recommend, though, especially if you can build up the heroic energy for it, I would say get Crack the Sky. This is her ultimate ability. Level it up. One of the modifications for it was a 25% chance to stun, and I'm trying to make her have as much utility as possible. So, of course, I'm going to go ahead and try to use it because it's hitting everybody. Somebody's bound to get stunned. You could go for the extra damage. It didn't look like anything too crazy. It raised it to 250. It could scale higher than that, possibly, but to me, the stun was just going to be so much more worth it, especially if it hit multiple people and stunned multiple people. But I tried to make that as brief as I possibly can. The portions after this will go the Ultimate 1 gameplay, the Ultimate 2 gameplay, and then the Ultimate 3. I'll leave timestamps in the descriptions or the comments, and I'll make sure I pin it so that if you just want to skip to seeing what you need to do, you can just jump right into that. And that's pretty much it for the opening explanation, guys. Thanks.
We've seen what those rift charges
This is my first ever mission on Ultimate 1. See how it goes.
Just focus on destroying the charges. Hydra has enough warm bodies to overwhelm you eventually.
Huh. Is that all? You need this more than I do.
You have my thanks. I have your back. Your fate is your loyalty to the Mother of Demons will be your undoing. running.
That's one charge down, but you're not out of the woods yet.
You had your chance to
Where'd you learn that one?
Another Hydra operation foiled. I'll never get tired of hearing that.
Well, damn. I thought I was going to be able to showcase Nico and Ghost Rider some more.
That monster out! Show no mercy!
Huh, is that all?
Blade told me to mention your mother. Apparently she is promiscuous. Your time has come.
one.
I suppose it's something.
You are too weak for this fight. Let us see if they have an answer for this.
Your suffering begins. They walk the same. Make way for vengeance. That won't be enough to save you.
None will be spared.
We got me trapped.
We are doing well so far.
Judgment comes. My power knows no limits. Prepare yourself.
I will make you regret that.
They welcome their own demise. You have been judged.
We've done it. Excellent work.
All right, that was the Ultimate 2 clip. I'm going to put in an Ultimate 3 clip real soon for this build video. Thanks, guys.
much damage to Hydra's forces as possible. Take them out relentlessly. Use the alarm to
Okay,
draw more of them
testing,
in.
testing. We are going to be doing Ultimate Level 3. This is going to be my first attempt ever doing Ultimate 3, and let's get into it.
Let us finish this. Your time has come.
That wasn't bad.
No mercy for the servants of Lilith.
Whatever gets the job done.
Had the chance to escape. You were too weak for this fight. Let us see if they have an answer for this.
Let me help.
That should...
Don't let up. The more you take down here, the less we have to deal with later.
None will be spared.
that's interesting. You asked for it. Aw, you guys are so adorable thinking you can beat us.
This shall be of great help.
More lambs to the slaughter.
They are set on coming after me.
You've still got some time. Tear them to shreds.
Hell that.
These cretins can't hope to stop you.
It's your time.
That was something.
We will stoke the fires of hell with your soul.
I am impressed.
Make way.
You need this more than I do.
Appreciate it.
have spotted enemy reinforcements.
Oh, is it my turn?
Time is almost up. Do as much as you can. These fools can't handle you.
You have earned this. As a child, I feared the servants of Lilith. Now I teach them to fear me.
Tracking target movement.
I feel more like myself every day. Welcome assistance.
Going for it.
That'll work.
Blade told me to mention your mother. Apparently she is promiscuous.
It is time.
Good one. Hey, that hurt!
We've done it. Excellent work.
And there you have it. Ultimate difficulty 3. Thanks, guys.